Hey guys, welcome back to Big Mama's Football. Today, we're talking fantasy football rankings from Yahoo 25 through 50. You guys crushed that 5-like goal I set earlier in the last video. So today, we're going to talk about the next 25 players on Yahoo's fantasy rankings. Starting off, number 26, Amari Cooper. What are you guys thinking?
Oh man, bro, I don't know. Amari Cooper's heading into that new head coach. Man, I don't really know how it's gonna work out there. Darius, what do you think?
I mean, I think he might have a little bit of a regression from last year just because they brought in CD Lamb now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, with the draft so recently.
I just think
Yeah.
that the only way that he can be able to play as well as he did last year is if they just pass a little bit more. But I just
Okay.
see his targets going down a little bit.
Okay, so he sees less share of the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean I definitely see that, but I think Mike McCarthy has always been kind of like he's kind of built his reputation on the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Randall
That's
Cobb.
true.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't know
so
if
with new
that
head coach
and
there.
Amari are gonna create a new system of who knows being
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
Yeah, so it could be a completely different situation. So I think Amari Cooper's kind of up in the air right now. But do you think 26 is a good spot for him?
I think
Yeah.
in the top 30 to top
Top
30.
30, yeah. Yeah, I think he could range around there. Yeah, definitely. He could perform to that level that we want to see him, and he could perform even better than we have expectations. But I think there's not a super low floor for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So 27, Leonard Fournette. I mean, we previously talked about this a little bit, off camera, but we're kind of hesitant to take Leonard Fournette at 27 like this. It's a little bit shady with everything going on in Jacksonville. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think Leonard Fournette, he might possibly be traded. There's been rumors going around. He
Yeah.
hasn't talked too much about wanting to be traded, wanting to be relocated out of the Jacksonville Jaguars area. I mean, at the moment right now, I think 27 is a little bit too high of a ranking for him.
Yeah.
Top 35 without a doubt.
Top 35?
Top 35 is no question there.
All right.
I mean, another problem with Leonard Fournette is that he's also injury prone too. So
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go top 40. I think top 35 is still a little bit high for the risk.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. Where would you guys see him going? Like what round? Early
I mean,
fifth?
I think knowing our league, and in most leagues, I think he'll go mid-third round to fourth round.
I'm just looking at the other running backs. I don't see a lot of them being better than Fournette, like that are
Yeah,
behind
I
them
mean, I
in
mean, let's
rankings.
let's
Like,
let's skip ahead and let's look down the list a little bit, right? So Chris Carson, Devin Singletary, Todd Gurley, Mark Ingram, to name a few in
yeah.
the ranks right below him. Would you say they have more upside than Leonard Fournette?
I mean, it depends because I'm not sure if Rashad Penny is going to steal a lot of touches away from Chris Carson like he was doing at the end of the season.
Okay,
I do like Devin Singletary though, but
I do too. Yeah,
I just want to see his usage because he
yeah,
seems like more of kind of like a passing running back or like a catching
yeah,
running back. I don't know if I could see him as a workhorse like Leonard Fournette.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, Leonard Fournette is a workhorse. I think he has a lot of upside, but I think that floor is also very low. But maybe if he gets traded, that could be the best thing for him.
Yeah.
So, but maybe it could be the worst thing. So, I think again, Leonard Fournette is even more up in the air than Amari Cooper. Going off running backs, Odell Beckham Jr. Again, we talked about this guy a little bit.
Not an Odell Beckham Jr. fan.
Yeah,
No way, shape, or form. He's just. I think it's partly due to this Baker Mayfield quarterback. He's not really connecting with him. I think Jarvis Landry really stole the show with him. He's losing targets, and they also just signed Austin Hooper, who is a stud of a tight end. They have Nick Chubb. They have Kareem Hunt. I think that whole offense is loaded, and I think their only lack is Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield is holding them back.
All right. What do you think,
Yeah.
Darish?
I mean, I have a feeling that if he's not traded, then he's going to be able to have a little bit more volume in the offense that he did last year, because it was like basically his absolute floor last year in terms of fantasy and stats. But I think he'll be better this year. It's kind of getting a little bit more chemistry with Baker Mayfield over time.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to have to disagree with that. I would actually argue that his fantasy stats are going to regress a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I'm in between both of you guys, honestly.
Yeah, no, they brought in a couple of new pass catchers, a new head coach. Again, we don't know how that's going to work. Austin he's doing a lot of receptions like he did with Julio and Calvin Ridley. So
yeah, I mean, but when you think about it, like they brought in a new coach for a reason. I feel like they just were unsatisfied with Freddie Kitchens' juice with OBJ, knowing his potential.
Juice.
Yeah, no, I think that whole offense.
What did I say?
Yeah, Mark, what were you saying?
No, that whole offense is just a little bit too overhyped. Definitely. It's just
All right. Yeah. I think that's one that maybe we can touch on later. That's one that we seem to have a little bit of a disagreement about. But I think this guy we might even have more disagreement about. Patty Mahomes. What are we thinking? Mark, I know you have very strong opinions about Patrick Mahomes here.
Okay, fantasy aside, I think the media overhypes him a little bit too much. I've seen the passes that he makes, and I've seen him compared to players of his caliber and alike, like Watson and, not to mention Tom Brady. I've seen them make similar throws, and just the media does not touch it at all. And I think that's just, man, I think that's kind of because he's overhyped.
Okay.
I just think him being a Super Bowl winner this year and has a lot more confidence going into next year, I think he's just going to be better every year. I mean, it's just hard to be able to do what he does on the field. I just like him a lot.
I really think this dynasty is only going to last for about 5-7 years, if that.
Still a decent amount of time.
No, it's a decent amount of time, but I think it's going to last for maybe 5-7 years tops.
But what?
I mean, how much longer can Tyreek Hill run 27 miles an hour? How much longer can Travis Kelce stay at the top tier level of a tight end that he is? How much longer can Damian Williams, who are some of their other – I know they drafted a new running back, but –
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
But then
is on the decline too. He's on the out.
But then you can make the argument that he's just going to get more receivers.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's kind of tough. I honestly don't know how I feel about Patrick Mahomes. I feel like I feel like he has a low floor. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he still could have a very stellar year and do really well. But I kind of agree with Mark. I don't like him personally because I just don't like the Chiefs. But that's just bias. I mean, I still think he's a good player.
Yeah, I don't see like you guys don't like Patrick Mahomes, but he's like the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best quarterback last year.
Well, yeah, that was Lamar Jackson, but actually, you can't even say Lamar Jackson because Patrick Mahomes was a Super Bowl winner.
All right, we'll get into that discussion another time. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes debate, we'll get into another time. But let's move on to these three running backs in a row right here. This gets kind of interesting to me. I mean, we already touched on Chris Carson a little bit. I'm not very high on Chris Carson.
No.
I don't think I ever am. But a lot of people seem to like him because he drops those like 40-point games like once. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I do like Devin Singletary, though. Moving on to him. I do like Devin Singletary. I had him last year for the majority of the year, and he proved to be very successful, and I liked him a lot, honestly.
I think he's really going to flourish in that Josh Allen
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
system.
I think the Bills are just getting better and better, honestly.
Yeah, no, and then touching about Chris Carson, I think he's really just a fumbling machine because I'm
Oh,
looking at
yeah.
his stats
Yeah, I didn't even
last year, and
think
he
about that.
fumbled
Yeah.
7 times, and
Yeah.
he scored 8.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like, that's way too much. All
Yeah.
right. What about Todd Gurley?
He's
I
a
think
bum.
this is another one that
Do not like Todd Gurley.
He's a bum. Complete bum.
is a bomb. All right.
He sucks.
I agree. Yeah, I think
He was
I
the
don't
reason why I didn't win fantasy last year.
know.
Absolute bum.
I really
Bomb.
think he's a solid flex.
No. I think he should be benched. No, I think he sucks.
You would bench him as a
Yes.
starting running back in Atlanta
I don't care what team he plays for.
with Dan Quinn.
He has knees like a grandpa. I don't care. He's a bum.
He does have knees like a grandpa. That's
He
true.
does, but I mean,
But nothing. He sucks. I hate him.
if Quinn can coach Devontae Freeman into having a stellar 2016 year, I think he can do the same thing with an even better player with Todd Gurley.
First of all, Devontae Freeman was good. Todd Gurley isn't.
Wait, are you saying Devontae Freeman was good in the past?
Yeah, in the past.
Then can I make the same argument with
Talk early.
the offensive player of the year, 2018? Todd
Well,
Gurley.
that was before the injuries.
No, but you just said in the past.
Devontae Freeman got injured.
Yeah.
Devontae Freeman was good. No. Hold on. Devontae Freeman wasn't injured when he was good.
What?
Devontae Freeman wasn't injured. Like, he didn't have any injury issues when he had that stellar 2016 season.
Yeah, and in 2018, Todd Gurley didn't have any issues either.
Okay, and then after his injuries,
Okay.
Freeman sucked.
Yeah, same with Talk early. I don't understand what you're trying to say there.
All right, I think let's just
He's kind of stuck. All right.
Todd
Talk early's a bum. All right. DJ Moore, our next player. And here we have 3 receivers in a row. DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, A.J. Brown.
I like AJ Brown. Love Cortland Sutton. I think DJ Moore has something to prove. I
Yeah.
think he's going to really be fighting for that wide receiver 1 position with Robbie Anderson.
Okay.
I'm a little concerned about DJ Moore just
Yeah, I
because
think we all are. Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
they just added the new Baylor coach who's a run heavy, who has a run heavy playbook, and
Yeah.
now the addition of Robbie Anderson. So now you have Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, and DJ Moore, who are going to be splitting targets. And
Don't
then you have
forget
Christian McCaffrey, who
Yeah.
also gets so many.
Right.
What did you say?
Chris Hogan still knows a deep threat. I think you're forgetting.
Oh yeah, Chris Hogan's there too.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Chris Hogan. Yes, of course. How could we?
No, he's a
forget Chris
beast.
Yeah.
You know what they call him?
Hogan?
James Washington deep threat.
Receiver, James Washington.
They called him 7-Eleven because he's open 24/7.
Who called him that? You called him that.
Yeah. A lot of
Okay, moving on.
Me,
Cortland Sutton.
my mom.
Cortland Sutton. I love him.
I think Cortland Sutton's
Supreme Court.
undisputed phenomenal player. I like him. I really like him and Drew Lock. I think they're going to build
Yeah,
this relationship that Demaryius Thomas and Peyton Manning had.
I hope. Yeah. No, I could definitely see that. The
Yeah.
Supreme Court man. He's a beast.
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown.
I like him. About AJ
I like
Brown.
him.
He's a little interesting for me.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of the same situation as DJ Moore with Tannehill there.
Yeah.
I like Tannehill, like as a dude. Like he's a cool guy. Like,
Fun guy.
yeah, he's a fun guy. Like he likes to hand the ball off a lot, but like, can he throw the ball?
I've seen him make a couple of nice throws. I mean,
Yeah, I could see that.
he
Yeah,
was the #1 team for play actions last year.
Yeah, because they're ran the ball so much.
Hey, if it works, it works. What can I say?
Gotta lose some to win some, Darius.
Darius, you all should know from Madden experience how effective the run game is against certain players. The Rams.
All right, I think we have some interesting guys coming up. Next, Mark Ingram.
I like Mark Ingram a lot.
I like Mark Ingram. I like Mark Ingram
Like
a
Mark
lot
Ingram.
too.
I think he's getting too old. Lamar Jackson's getting. He is young. They have Hollywood Brown, Willie Snead, Mark
These guys suck.
Yeah, I don't like Willie Snead. I like Hollywood Brown.
for himself, and
I mean, like as a player, he's all right. I mean,
I think Mark Andrews is a definite top 3 tight end this year.
Ooh.
He proved himself last year as the top.
he did
would you-
indeed. I agree with that.
Or would you put him over Ertz?
Yes, because he outperformed Ertz by a mile.
For fantasy,
Yeah.
Waller.
yeah, I'd have to. I think
What
I'd
about
have to.
Waller?
I like Ertz. I think Ertz is a better tight end, just
Mhm.
through veteranship.
We're
But
not talking about the most put together. We're talking about the most fantasy points.
Well, yeah.
At the end of the day, I think it goes Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews, and then the rest can be disputed between Ertz or Waller or Hunter Henry if he's.
Hunter Henry, yeah, I think he's in that conversation.
Mhm.
All right, I think this might be our most interesting guy, Juju. What are we thinking?
Boy, do we have a lot to say about Juju.
You're right there, Mark. You're right there.
You started off, Mark.
Yeah, you start us off, Mark.
I love Juju as a person. I think he's cool. I think his dog is really cool. Love his Instagram page.
Do you like his YouTube?
I do not like the Steelers. Not the Steelers. Do not like Big Ben. Hate James Conner. I think Juju's star to fade him. Star to fade.
Road to fate.
Road,
How about
Road to stardom.
road
to-
to stardom.
yeah.
To Antonio Brown getting double covered and leaving Juju in single coverage. And if you look at that 2018 season, Juju was phenomenal. He had more receptions than Antonio Brown, which is wild. He had almost as many touchdowns, almost as many as yards. And I think, and we saw last year, I think part of it was also due to, I think, Mason Rudolph. But
Yeah.
look, I think only time will tell to see how he'll perform with his original quarterback. And I don't like to say it, but
I mean, how many total points did he get last year?
92.
Ah,
I need
Five-
So I think
552 reception yards, 3 touchdowns, and 42 receptions.
so I think that's the floor. That's the floor.
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
get worse than that.
I think this is a similar
Yeah, Mark.
situation. I think this is a similar situation to OBJ, though.
No.
Kind of. Just
yeah,
because of the floor,
Discussion
you can
for
only get.
I just
What?
hate the Steelers. Yeah, I mean, enough said, I guess. I mean, honestly, Juju, he's got something to prove, but at the same time, I feel like
I think
he's
Juju.
overhyped sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And I think Juju's kind of in the discussion for comeback player of the year.
Yeah, and I could see that. I
That's
could
fair.
definitely see an argument for that
Yeah.
if he does well.
I'm looking at Juju's 2018 stats, and I think that right now is his high. 111 receptions. He played all 16 games, by the way. And and another interesting fact: whenever Odell plays all of his 16 games, or at least I think is at least 10 games, he averages about 100 yards, so 1,000 yards a season. It's his bare bone minimum if he plays at least 10 games.
This is pretty good.
So I think,
it's honestly not that bad.
and then Juju's averaging 12.8 yards a reception, 7 TDs. Now that's wild,
Now that is wild.
ludicrous.
Ludicrous. Yeah. I mean, Enough said about Juju, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Next player, Keenan Allen.
I think he's going to regress a lot. He's getting old. His route.
Yeah.
Route.
It's hard to regress further from where he's been.
Well, no. I
Actually
wouldn't say
last
he's
year he
gonna
had a
regress.
decent year.
I would say he's gonna do better.
Wide receivers in,
Really?
but
Yeah.
like he's been known to be a top tier receiver.
No, but if you watch the way that Philip Rivers was playing towards the end of the season last year, it was garbage. I don't care. Look at the Raiders and Chargers game. It was absolute garbage. He was throwing 20 yards away from his targets. This year with, I think, Herbert, he's going to do a lot better. And especially since they lost Melvin Gordon, I think they're going to start passing a little bit more as well.
Well, Melvin Gordon was a receiving back too.
Same
But yeah,
with
but he
Eckler.
would. Yeah, but Melvin Gordon would have like 12. No, not 12. Like probably 18 rush attempts a game, while Eckler would still have like a decent amount, like probably like.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm in between both of you. I think Keenan's going to have just about the same year. I
Yeah.
don't think Herbert's going to be that outstanding, but I
Very
guess that's we can honestly, if you guys like to see that, please comment if we can do a ranking of the draft classes, or at least like the first round. We could definitely do something like that. I think that'd be a fun video.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, next player, Mark Andrews. We kind of already talked about him.
Yeah.
Top three.
I like
We did a good talking about him, but real quickly, he'll have a good season. I guess they both think.
I think he'll regress a little bit, and I think that's natural.
bit.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think he'll finish top 5 as the floor.
All right. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, for sure. What round do you see taking Mark Andrews?
Like, I'm not a big fan or believer in taking tight ends
Yeah, me neither.
in the first 5 rounds. So I'm going to go with 6th round.
6th round.
I just don't see much of a difference between Mark Andrews and other people like Ertz and Waller. So might as well just. I mean, I wouldn't go for a guy like Mark Andrews in the first place. I would just wait for a slightly lower tier
That's true. That's a good
to
strategy.
be able to get a lot higher of
At that point.
better of like a running back or a receiver that are more essential.
All right. Adam Thielen. Now, before we say anything, I actually think he's decently low down on this list.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty low.
I think he's better than – would you say he's better than DJ Moore?
Yeah, I would.
I think he's better than Odell.
You think he's better than Odell?
100%. I think there's – can't really argue that at this point. Or not talking about physical traits and abilities to play the game. We're talking about fantasy.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of the game. And then that's why I'm going to say that Adam Thielen will outperform Odell.
Well, I definitely think he's better than DJ Moore. I think it's possible that he has a better year than OBJ. Like, it's definitely possible, like, probably likely.
I'm a little worried, though, about Thielen.
Why is
I just
that?
don't see a lot of targets that Kirk Cousins could throw to besides Thielen right now, which could also be good. But, like, I feel like defenses will just catch on and just smother him. Because who else? Can you name another receiver on the Vikings?
No, I can't name another receiver, but
Kyle
there's a
Rudolph.
man in the backfield by the name of Dalvin Cook.
And
Well, yeah,
also
I mean,
Madison. Or Alexander Madison.
Oh, they picked up Justin Jefferson. They drafted Justin Jefferson, too. That's a good pickup. I like that. I like that receiving core, honestly.
I just see like the departure of Diggs as a little bit hurtful.
What do you mean hurtful? Diggs wanted out.
Yeah, Diggs won it out, but just it's just going to cause. Yeah, Thielen's not going to be able to have. It's like I feel like it's a similar situation as Mike Evans. Like he just constantly was getting. He could go for big games. I'm not saying that, but I just see that there's going to be some games where he's going to get 3 receptions for 30 yards just because the defense is going to catch on because they know that all they have to do is cover him and Dalvin Cook and they're done.
Yeah, I still think Thielen could place a lot higher than he is right now, though, and I can see him being a top 30 player for sure.
Look, in the end of the day, I think Adam Thielen running his routes and his like physical traits, I think that he'll be able to outmaneuver and outplay those double coverage zone plays or man coverage plays
Mm-hmm.
to a certain degree. I don't think he'll have ridiculous games every game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean like it's give and take. Now what about Cooper Cup?
Yeah, next, Cooper Cup.
Like, that's your favorite player.
Cooper Cup is pretty good.
Does like Cooper Cup.
He is very resilient coming after that ACL tear, 2018 season. Very resilient.
Comeback
Yeah.
player of the year.
It should have been, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cooper Cup though. What are we thinking?
I'm gonna rank Cooper Cup higher. Okay, Cooper Cup definitely above Chris Carson.
Okay.
No, above Chris Carson because they lost Brandon Cooks, so he's gonna be out. I think Robert Woods right now is still the receiver one. Not entirely sure. And then they're also gonna try and be running a
Yeah.
tight end scheme from what I heard.
And with
Are-
no
They're gonna
Todd
be
Gurley there.
Higby a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing about
Cook's
the
kind of
Rams,
interesting. I feel like he could have a good season, but last season was really, really good. I don't know if he's going to be able to produce those same numbers.
I mean, the thing about the Rams is that they rely on the run to be able to open up the play action, which Cooper Cup.
No, well, I mean, look at last year. They barely ran the ball, and whenever they did, it was horrible.
Yeah, because
Well, I mean,
they just didn't even trust Gurley to run it for some reason, and they didn't let him thrive in the system. So
Literally took out one of the best players in the league and put in a backup by the name of Malcolm Brown.
And Daryl
and
Henderson.
C.J. Anderson.
And no, they didn't even have CJ
No,
Anderson.
not C.J.
Yeah,
Anderson.
that was
Daryl
crazy.
Henderson.
He was perfect for their scheme. They needed a power back to punch for those 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s.
Yeah.
Poor Rams. I don't know. I don't like Jared Goff either.
Hate Jared Goff. Think he's way too overpaid. Do not like Sean McVay. Props to
Yeah, I
him.
don't either.
I just don't
Young
think.
coach though. He's very young. So
Yeah. And they just lost
can go better.
their defensive coach who's been there since God knows however many years.
Yeah, Wade Phillips. Well, Wade Phillips had only been there like 3 years because he used to be the Broncos defensive coach, but he's been a defensive coach for I think it was like 20 years or so.
Arguably one of the best.
Yeah, arguably one of the best defensive coaches of all time. So, all right, moving on. Devontae Parker. Dariush, I know you're high on
like this
Devontae
guy.
Parker.
You like this guy?
Yeah, I like
I'm
this
high
guy.
on
a
Devontae
lot.
Parker too. I think I could see him placing higher than this.
Well,
But
I mean, the problem is
I don't know.
I'm looking at the other receivers before him. The only person that I see that would probably be below him that's like ranked incorrectly is probably Juju, in my opinion. Besides that, I would just keep the order the same because I think Cooper, Kupp, and Thielen all deserve more respect than Devontae Parker. It's because Devontae Parker's had one good season.
yeah.
That
That's a
could have
good
been a
point.
fluke. Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly I think he's gonna have another good season, but
Look,
yeah.
I think we can all genuinely hope for the best for each player. It's just, will they replicate their 2019 season?
Yeah.
No. Devontae Parker will not replicate his 2019 season. Case in point.
Well, he may be able to playing the Patriots twice.
Killer. We may have lost Cal Van Noy. We may have lost Patrick Chung. We may have secondary, but we did draft a D2 player in the 2nd round, and I believe he will lead us to the victory road.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Dolphins, when they probably play the Patriots, they're probably going to run a lot more since they're going to be up. So probably Devontae Parker might not have that many targets.
Yeah, that's a great point, Dariush.
I think everyone
That's what
Bill Belichick's scheme, an entire overall team. Look at the Lions for Matt Patricia, who used to be the defensive coach. Brian Flores, who used to be the defensive coach. They're stealing all of our immaculate players. Danny Amendola, Trey Flowers, Patrick Chung, Calvin going to the freaking Dolphins of all teams. Disgusting.
And who are you left with? Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham. You know what? We'll get to him later.
I hope he'll be good. I don't know if he'll be good. He may or may not be good. But in my deep heart, I know that he'll lead us eventually to at least a four-win season, at least. Still better than the Rams.
No, the Rams are going to do better than the Jared Stidham and the Patriots this year.
What?
All right, Melvin Gordon. Get out of here, kids.
Melvin Gordon, 100%. Okay, he's not going to regress from his 2019 season because he was awful. Because Austin Eckler stole the show. I think there's no denying it. He's in the 3 running back committee. They have Royce Freeman, Philip Lindsay, and him. I think that's just ridiculous for him to sign with such a random team. For all the themes that I think that they should have picked up.
They're not going to use Royce Freeman anymore.
They don't have Royce Freeman anymore?
They're not going to use Royce
They're just
Freeman
not going to
anymore.
use him. I don't see why they would.
And
Oh, man, what's the point of Royce Freeman?
He wasn't the best in the game by any means, but he was good. He was definitely above average. And I think that's right now in the NFL, I think that running backs are so easy to replace.
That's a good point. I think that's another hot topic we can discuss in another video. Again, please let us know in the comments if you guys would like to see that.
Smash the like button.
All right. Le'Veon Bell.
Disgusting.
Okay. Marlon Mack.
Josh Allen had more touchdowns than him. I think that's just a big
Who, Marlon Mack or Le'Veon Bell?
Marlon Mack, 100%, bro. Phillip Rivers loves his running backs. He loves to throw dump offs to him. He loves to throw screens to them. I think he's going to fit in perfect with Phillip.
All right. So you think Marlon Mack has a good year?
I think Marlon Mack's going to have a much better year than he had last year with that broken thumb incident.
That's true.
But aren't you concerned about Hines being the receiving back?
No, not at all.
No.
What about
because Mack got injured?
what about them drafting a new running back this year?
You can draft any running back in the 3rd round. I don't think that means they're going to be a starter taking a lot of carries.
Although I think he could lose some share of the ball.
Look at Tony Pollard. The Cowboys drafted him. Everyone thought he was going to be the new starter.
Well, no, not the starter. It's Zeke. No, you can't compare Marlon Mack to Zeke. It's two different.
I just did.
No.
Stop the like button.
Moving on. Calvin Ridley.
I like
Disgusting.
I don't think he'll have the same season as he did last year because definitely his lower. I think it was a lower back injury that kind of slowed him down towards the end.
I think so, yeah.
And then, not to mention, Calvin Ridley also got injured towards like Thanksgiving, November.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't that Julio?
No, both of them got injured.
Both.
I remember sitting at the Thanksgiving table.
No, I remember. No.
Calvin Ridley gets injured.
No, what happened was that we were at Thanksgiving, and then you texted me to trade you Calvin Ridley because Julio got hurt.
Oh, yeah, no. Calvin Ridley also later got hurt along with Julio.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I remember that night. And Ridley balled out.
Zach Ertz. We already talked about him a little bit too. We don't have to talk much about him, but tight end. Can't see him being a very high pick. I think he'll have a good year-ish.
Man, they added a lot of new wide receiver threats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's going to be taking carries away. They added Jalen Hurts. And actually, Doug Peterson mentioned, and I forget who their GM was, but they were talking about how they want to have a Taysom Hill situation there, where he'll run a jack of all trades kind of thing.
All right.
Okay. Damian Williams.
Yeah, Damian Williams.
Not a fan. I hate to say it, but that gunslinger Patrick Mahomes is not a huge fan of his running backs. Granted, 2018 was a good year for Mr. Kareem Hunt up until an incident.
I forgot who had Kareem Hunt in our league that year.
This guy. Woo.
Who had
And
Damian Williams last
a
year?
week before he got kicked out.
Who drafted Damian Williams in the 3rd round last year?
I'm sorry, who didn't even make playoffs? Oh no, you made playoffs. Who didn't place? Or who got last place?
Who's won a year?
Who beat Amir by 0.1 points?
I'm sorry, you win.
By losing by 0.1. Don't worry.
You win.
Good to be humble. But I'm looking at Damian Williams' stats from last year. Really underperformed.
All right.
Yeah.
He was not good. Super Bowl, a fluke. I call his 4 touchdowns a fluke in the Super Bowl.
So not even a 6th round player.
I personally wouldn't. Depends who you have already drafted. Maybe as someone to play during a bye week. I think that's fair. I think he's a fair flex during a bye week.
I feel like he could be a good flex, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know about an everyday use of a flex.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him as a flex. Especially with the new running back coming in. I don't see him being that well. I think it's like a similar situation with the Patriots with Sony Michel and James White. I just don't like either one just because they take touches away from each other.
All right. Tyler Lockett.
White averaged practically 10 points a game, and I think that's all you can ask for in a flex. A reliable 10 points a game, in my eye, is better than a random 15 to 3 points. I think consistency is better.
Then, but if you think about it, like,
No.
I would put, I would have Bell as my flex over Damian Williams.
Bell had 3 touchdowns last year.
I mean, I'd still put him over Damian Williams just because of upside.
On my flex.
His upside of what, 4 touchdowns a year?
Well, he scored 60 more fantasy points than Damian Williams last year.
Actually?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right, moving on though. Tyler Lockett.
I like Tyler. He's not going to have the same season as he did last year. I think he'll get around 6 TDs, 1,100-ish yards. Yeah, no, I think that's fair because Will Disley, he was great for like the first 2-3 weeks. Then he got injured for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
I think he was the number 2 tight end for 2 weeks in a row, or number 1 maybe at one point.
Yeah.
He's going to be healthy. Who knows? I think Russell Wilson's going to try and be more of a pocket passer, more or less. I mean, he has wheels. He has the ability to roll out the pocket, scramble for the first down. But I think at a certain age, you start to become more hesitant about that.
And the rise of DK Metcalf, too.
Oh, yeah. No, and I'm looking at his stats from last year, and his targets shot up when Doug Baldwin left. 2018, he had a total of 70 targets with 57 receptions. But then 2019, he averaged 110 targets with a measly 82 receptions. And I think that's where he's starting to plateau and fall down.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I think he'll average out like top 50, but he'll be right around there, 55 to 45 range.
Yeah. So I just don't see many people better than him under in the rankings.
Yeah. All right. Last one here, number 50, Stephon Diggs.
I love Stephon Diggs in this new team. I love Josh Allen.
I as well. I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
I think it's phenomenal. I think he got exactly what he was looking for. He got a reasonable playoff contender.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings were a playoff contender, but they were always just a wild card.
Yeah.
They somehow beat the Saints. Still don't know how. Beat the Saints 2017, 2020, or 2018, 2020? But
yeah.
I think the Bills, hate to say it, they're going to come out in the AFC East. I think they're third seed, maybe second seed. No, third seed, because they're not going to be better than the Ravens. They're not going to be better than the Chiefs.
Oh my goodness! Sorry, my computer keeps on.
City.
All right. Do you have anything to say about Stephon Diggs?
Man, I like him. There's not many holes. There's not many holes in the offense and on the Bills.
I'm gonna go. I think there is one gaping hole. Huge hole. Ridiculously large hole. Tight end.
Yeah.
Tight end and O-line.
No, I mean I think the O-line is decently solid. They have Charles Clay, but
they have Charles Clay. He's getting old. They did draft him, I think, last year or 2 years ago. He's a more or less reliable target, but I think he just doesn't compare to some of the higher end tight ends.
Actually, you know what?
A scenario in which you would draft Henry Knox.
Actually, I think Stephon Diggs is going to be worse this year, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, worse.
Why?
Because I think there's too many good targets on that team. Josh Allen runs the ball a decent amount. First of all, runs for and then they also have John Brown and Cole Beasley, who are great receivers. So I just don't see him getting the opportunity that he did on the Vikings.
If anything, I think that's going to leave them with more targets because Stephon Diggs running with Adam Thielen, the two of them, defenses couldn't handle both the pressure. And I think here they're not going to be able to hold the pressure. So they're going to be running more cover 3, cover 4, dropping back because they have Stephon Diggs and John Brown, who's ridiculously fast. Cole Beasley is a top-tier slot receiver. I think he's up there as one of the best in the league, behind Julian Edelman.
What about Thielen?
Thielen's not a slot receiver.
Hey.
He is?
Oh. No. There he is. Look it up.
Look it up.
What about Cooper Kupp?
All right, look it up a different time. It's all right.
What about Cooper Kupp?
Whatever. All right.
Smash the like button if you want us to compare the best slot wide receivers of all time.
Well, thank you very much for watching this full Big Mama's Football YouTube video. Thank you very much. Guys, I know I said 5 likes on the last video, but hit 10 likes.
Nah, 15.
15. All right, 15 likes. And we will create a TikTok account where Mark runs it and gives you exactly what you want. Right, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please come back for more videos. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. Turn on post notifications, please.
Peace.